Somewhere right now, a narcissist is scanning a room. It might be an office, it might be a party, it might be a dating app at 2 in the morning. They are not looking for the loudest person in that room. They are not looking for the weakest one either. They are looking for someone very specific. And if these people keep finding you over and over, you have probably asked yourself a quiet, painful question. What is wrong with me? But the real answer is far stranger. Nothing is wrong with you. They did not choose you because you are broken. They chose you because of everything that is right with you. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how that selection works, why it feels impossible to see in the moment, and how to make yourself the one person in the room they avoid. Let us start with what a narcissist actually is. Not the internet insult, the real thing. Psychologists have been measuring narcissism for decades, ever since researchers Robert Raskin and Howard Terry built a test called the Narcissistic Personality Inventory. In plain English, it measures a pattern, a grandiose sense of self, a hunger for admiration, and a strange blind spot where empathy should be. People high in this pattern do not experience other people as people. They experience them as mirrors. Some mirrors reflect them beautifully, some do not. Their entire social life is a search for better mirrors. Now here's the first thing that should unsettle you. Narcissists are not socially clumsy. They are socially gifted. In 2010, psychologist Mitya Back and his colleagues ran a now famous experiment. Complete strangers met for the first time and introduced themselves one by one, while everyone rated everyone else. The researchers called it zero acquaintance. No history, no reputation, just first impressions. The result? The most narcissistic people in the room were rated the most charming, the most confident, the most likable. At first sight, narcissism does not look like a red flag. It looks like charisma. Think about what that means. The very moment you are worst at detecting a narcissist is the exact moment they are best at winning you over. The lure is built into the predator. So they shine. Everyone smiles. But then comes the part almost nobody talks about. The scan. Because a narcissist cannot use just anyone. Admiration from a stranger fades in seconds. What they need is a renewable source. Psychologists call it narcissistic supply. In plain English, supply is emotional fuel. Attention, praise, sympathy. Even your anger counts because anger is still attention. And some people are simply richer fuel sources than others. Who burns brightest? This is where the answer gets uncomfortable. Because the traits on their checklist are the traits you were probably praised for your entire life. Empathy comes first. You feel what other people feel, sometimes before they say a word. To you, that is just being human. To a narcissist, it is a vending machine that pays out comfort every time they push a button. They tell a sad story on the second date. You lean in, they watch you lean, then comes forgiveness. You give second chances. You believe people can change. You explain away bad behavior because you would never want to judge someone unfairly. Have you ever caught yourself defending someone who hurt you to your own friends? That instinct is beautiful. It is also a door left unlocked. Then loyalty. Once you commit, you stay. You fix. You carry. When something breaks in the relationship, your first move is to ask what you can do differently. A narcissist hears that question and understands something wonderful. The maintenance of this relationship has just been outsourced to you. Forever. And then there is the quiet one. Self-doubt. Psychologist Craig Malkin describes a pattern he calls egoism. Egoists are people who learned, usually in childhood, to take up as little space as possible. They apologize first. They need least. They feel safest when the spotlight is on someone else. If you grew up managing a difficult parent's moods, you may have been in training for this role before you could spell your own name. A narcissist needs the spotlight. An egoist hands it over with relief. From the outside, it looks like chemistry. It is actually a lock meeting its key. There is one more group on the list. Researcher Elaine Aron spent her career studying what she called highly sensitive people. Roughly 1 in 5 of us is wired to process emotional information more deeply. Louder feelings, stronger conscience, more guilt. If that is you, understand this clearly. Your sensitivity is not a defect, but to a narcissist, you are a concert hall. Everything they play through you sounds enormous. Empathy, forgiveness, loyalty, humility, sensitivity. Read that list again. It is not a list of weaknesses. It is a character reference. That is the dark joke at the center of all this. Narcissists do not hunt for damaged people. They hunt for high-quality people with poorly guarded doors. So how does the selection actually happen? You might imagine it takes months. It does not. It takes minutes, and it works like a security audit. Early on, a narcissist runs small tests. A joke at your expense, delivered with a smile. Showing up late without an apology. A small favor that is slightly too big for how long you have known them. A secret shared too fast, demanding a secret back. None of these look dangerous on their own. That is the point. They are not rudeness. They are reconnaissance. Each tiny violation asks one silent question. What happens when I cross your line? And here is the counterintuitive twist. If you object calmly and early, you usually do not get a fight. You get a vanishing act. The narcissist loses interest, withdraws, moves on to scan the next room. Being dropped by a narcissist in week 1 is not rejection. It is a past audition that they failed. The people they keep are the people who smiled through the test. Let that sink in. The relationship did not go wrong later. The selection happened at the moment you decided that keeping the peace mattered more than keeping the line. Once you are selected, the machine turns on. Psychologist W. Keith Campbell describes dating a narcissist with what he calls the chocolate cake model. The first bite is incredible, richer than anything healthy could taste. The love bombing phase floods you with attention, gifts, plans, declarations. You are not just liked, you are chosen, seen, finally understood. Why would anyone walk away from that? Then the recipe changes. The warmth starts arriving on a schedule you cannot predict. One day you are adored. The next day you are invisible. And your brain, without your permission, becomes obsessed with getting the good days back. This is not weakness. This is conditioning. And we have known about it since B.F. Skinner studied pigeons in a box. When Skinner rewarded every peck, the birds worked steadily. But when he made the rewards unpredictable, something eerie happened. The pigeons pecked harder, faster, almost endlessly. Unpredictable reward is the single most addictive schedule known to behavioral science. It is why slot machines empty wallets, and it is why a relationship that is wonderful only sometimes can hold you tighter than a relationship that is wonderful every day. The narcissist's inconsistency is not a flaw in the bond. It is the bond. Now zoom out, because there is a modern mirror here. Everything about today's world industrializes that first impression advantage. Dating apps are zero acquaintance studies running 1 billion times a day. Job interviews reward bold self-promotion. Social media counts admiration in public numbers. We have accidentally built a civilization shaped like a narcissist's hunting ground. Your grandmother met a charming stranger occasionally. You meet one every time you unlock your phone. And do not assume this only happens in romance. The same scan runs in offices every single day. The colleague who praises your work in private and takes credit for it in meetings did not pick you randomly. They picked the person too conscientious to make a scene. The boss who calls you their star, then keeps you off balance with unpredictable approval, is running Skinner's experiment on company time. Researchers studying workplace narcissism keep finding the same pattern. The most reliable, most agreeable, most self-questioning employees absorb the most exploitation, precisely because they keep asking what they could do better. Sound familiar? The room changes. The checklist never does. So what do you actually do? Because here is what you must not do. You must not fix this by becoming colder. The world does not need less empathy. Your warmth is not the problem. The problem is that your warmth has no filter on the door. The filter is boundaries, and they work better than you think, for one simple reason. A boundary is a test that only healthy people pass. State a small, calm no. Early. I cannot talk tonight. I am not comfortable with that joke. Watch what happens next. A healthy person respects it, and nothing is lost. A narcissist negotiates it, punishes it, or disappears. Every one of those reactions is information, delivered cheaply, before your heart is invested. Slow the tempo, too. Fast intimacy is the love bomber's favorite weapon, because speed prevents inspection. Anyone who is real on day one will still be real on day 90. And watch how they treat people who can do nothing for them. The waiter, the intern, the ex they describe. You are not hearing about the past, you are hearing your own future, narrated in advance.
Most of all, keep your people. Isolation is never announced. It arrives as flattery. Why do you even need them? You have me. Every friend a narcissist talks you out of is a camera being unplugged.
And if you are watching this with a knot in your stomach, recognizing a story you have already lived, hear this part clearly. You were not chosen because you were foolish. You were chosen because you were kind in a world that has learned how to exploit kindness. The empathy that made you a target is the same empathy that, guarded properly, makes you the kind of person everyone else is lucky to know. Keep it. Just put a door on it. So, somewhere right now a narcissist is scanning a room. Maybe one day it will be your room. They will glide past the loud ones and the cold ones, hunting for warmth, for patience, for a heart that forgives quickly and doubts itself first. And their eyes may still land on you. But something is different now, because this time you will be looking back. You will recognize the charm as a lure, the test as questions, the speed as a weapon. And a narcissist who has been seen, truly seen, loses the only power they ever had. They asked, "What is wrong with you?" Now you know the truth. Nothing ever was.